There are some wars you fight and some wars you walk away from. This is the fighting kind.
Green salad up, and green salad down.
When I was elected mayor, this was a broken city. Tell me things haven't changed.
You know who I am?
Yeah. Step by step, I've been getting it fixed.
It's all right. Calm down, okay?
Tell me things haven't changed.
Here's our guy.
Mr. Mayor.
You, in my eyes. Hero.
Thank you.
You ever do any hunting?
Excuse me, Cyrus. Do you have any glue? This city is broken.
Oh, crap. I knew I should.
Damn, you know what? Go back to Broken City, boy.
Okay, you know what?
No, I should have saved the receipt. You're right.
No, you know what? No, I'll take it back. No.
Do what you know.
Okay, all right. Excuse me. Okay, all right. Boy, Broken City. Movie's so good, I didn't even see it. Actually, we had 2 movies tonight. We had 3. We had to bypass one movie. Coach, you and I went to go see one film, and we had the...
Yeah, we went to go see Broke Ass City.
Yeah, we had the Funny Book Boys go off and see their film, so... well, I guess tell us about the movie.
What you Funny Book Boys think about the movie?
I know you don't like me to interrupt while you're giving the synopsis.
Oh,
so go ahead.
man, come on. Now, we just started. Now, why you start this black on black right now? No, I'll tell you but one thing about this movie, though. I did want to see it because the trailer looks good.
It does look good.
Yeah, trailer looks pretty awesome. And it's directed by one half of the Hughes brothers. I haven't seen those guys in a long time.
Yeah.
Alan, not Albert. I don't know where Albert is.
I don't know
Prince
what
Albert?
he's doing.
No, yeah, apparently he's still in the can because he ain't directing this movie.
He's directing Fixed City.
That's a sequel.
That's pretty good, actually. I like that.
No, so what got me about the trailer is that you have Mark Wahlberg as a cop.
Yes.
Is this New York City or Boston?
It's New York City.
New York City, baby.
Yeah. He's
Mark Wahlberg and everything.
The idea, when we first meet him, he's a cop. Don't get us wrong.
It's almost like a flashback.
Yeah, there's this little sequence we find out like everybody hates him because he shot this guy, and they're like, bullshit, you murdered him. He's like, no, it was self-defense.
Yeah.
And like the deal is he was a rapist and murderer who got off on a technicality. So
Mark
like,
Wahlberg was?
No, that's the guy.
Wow, this sounds good.
The guy got killed. Mark Wahlberg was a cop. But basically he gets called into the mayor's office and said, look, even though you got off, we can't keep you on as a cop anymore, but we're not going to forget you. All right. We know that you're a hero, even if nobody else does. And we'll get back in touch with you later.
Well, now the important part is that it's not so much we, because Russell Crowe is the mayor.
Yeah.
And you could tell he's
He
a
is
corrupt
the mayor.
mayor just because, I don't know, he's fat and he talks with a voice like this.
Yeah.
And he's one of those guys that like slaps you on the back and offers you a scotch. So you know he's evil.
And you know what? Looks like he never takes that fucking tuxedo off. It's glued to his body.
I'm kind of glad he does. You don't want to see what's underneath.
No.
But you got Jeffrey Wright as the police commissioner who's just looking at Mark Wahlberg the whole time like,
Piece of
you
shit.
son of a bitch, you piece of shit.
I know you.
I know you. Yeah.
You and OJ.
So basically the kind of the compromise they come to is like, yeah, my boy, you did it. You did what had to be done. You're a hero. But you can't keep your job.
I promise that in some unnamed way,
Yeah.
in some uncertain future, this will pay off.
Yeah, here's my card. Don't be a stranger. Now get the fuck out of here.
So it goes 7 years later. And we have basically Mark Wahlberg is a private dick. He is the picture of every generic private detective, except he's not wearing a trench coat and a fedora. That's
Okay.
about the only difference.
Is he followed by that guy playing the saxophone when he wanted the street?
Right? See, they take all those kind of things out of it. I mean,
Well, it's like
plus he's not driving a Trans Am either.
Do they
It's
film in black
he's
and
one
white?
of those guys, he's like, all right, so they established that maybe he's a little too soft-hearted on some people, but on other people, he's just too much of a hard ass. He's got anger management problems, but he has trouble tracking people down to get them to pay the bills.
Yeah.
He's got a way too young secretary who's got moon eyes for him, but he's like, I'm too old for her, whatever. He's got a gorgeous girl at home who's the one who got him to stop drinking 7 years ago when all
Saved
that
his
shit
life.
went down. Saved his life, and he's been on the straight and narrow ever since. When along comes the mayor going, you remember that favor? Well, actually, I just need to hire you as private detective for a lot of money to find out if my wife, played by Catherine Zeta-Jones, is indeed cheating on me.
Oh, but now this sounds just like Film More, where that favor sounds like a setup for Mark Wahlberg to be the patsy.
I hired you to investigate my wife.
Investigator for what?
For not minding your own business is for what? But having a big mouth is for what? But asking too many questions is for what? You better be careful following her example, Billy. I might have to hire someone to investigate you.
Yeah. You're good, man. I'll give you that. You got it all worked out, huh?
Perhaps that's why the people keep electing me, Billy. Because I simply get the job done.
So all this, it was all for the city?
Everything I do is for this great city. I chose you because I own you.
Well, does Mark Wahlberg hook up with Catherine Zeta-Jones?
No, that's not even on the
Catherine
table.
Zeta-Jones is like a role in this movie that sadly could have been played by absolutely anybody.
Could have been played by you, co-host.
Don't mind if I do.
She's a plot device and a
Pretty
and a
much.
prop.
But is that it?
Like much the way it is in film noir, where the women are there just to be plot devices.
But they do. This is a setup, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, here's the thing. This guy is broke as shit. He's like, oh, I'll never be broke as long as
Mark
people
Wahlberg's character? Yeah.
You'll never be broke as long as people owe you money. His secretary's like, well, you only got $1,800 and people owe you $42,000. So you tell me if you broke or not.
Wow, he's really bad at that job.
Hey, he's in the right city for it.
So when the mayor comes and says like, hey, I need you to do this simple, like we see him starting off doing one of those shitty taking photos of somebody cheating on their wife where he's getting his ass beat doing it. So the mayor says like, hey, I need you to just follow my wife. I think she's fucking around. I'll pay you 50 grand. Here's 25 right now and you get the other 25 later. So with a sweetheart deal like that,
Yeah.
you know it's a setup.
Of course.
If there's one thing I say about this, I'm like, man, he is a terrible private eye.
Yeah.
Because he should have, not only should he have smelled some bullshit going on, but most of the time when he's following people, it's like, it just seems like so obvious that all they got to do is turn around and go like, hey man, did you lose something? Oh, I'm looking over here.
He sounds like a guy that needs to rent some DVDs every once in a while so he can see this plot coming.
Old school, like that old school detective, like the Raymond Chandler detective, who's always like got a heart of gold, but as dumb as a bag of rocks.
Right, yeah, right.
Who is tough as a motherfucker.
Right.
You don't want to fuck with him, but I mean, if you're like got a little girl's like falls in the water, he's gonna go jump after. He's gonna save a kitten from a burning house, but he'll also beat your fucking ass if he catches you doing anything out.
He's beating up the water when he goes in and gets the girl.
Yeah,
Let her go.
He does walk right into a situation that he's just too blind and naive to see. Even
Yeah.
as we, as audience members, seeing all the tropes of film noir that are appearing there, are like watching every single thing that happens and everything the camera pays attention to. Go, what's it going to be? What's going to be?
See,
the
that's
thing?
why it's great because the audience for these kind of movies are kind of set up to be smarter than the protagonist, so that we
Not
can
the
see
audience we
everything
saw
coming.
it with though.
You're not that, no.
Except for the audiences that
I
free
know.
screenings.
When is that audience ever smart for anything?
What's going to happen next?
They were like, "Oh, Shooter was better." I understand what's going on there.
I can already hear that audience trying to figure shit out while you're trying to watch a movie. Like, ooh, I know what's coming up.
Well,
I know.
now that you bring it up, I don't think there is such thing as a crime movie where Mark Wahlberg isn't getting set up.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, because he's Mark Wahlberg, you don't hire him to be the brilliant guy. And sure enough, he's actually cast pretty well.
He
on the
is.
whole here because he is. I mean, like all those qualities I described, you're like, oh yeah, that's that character that Mark Wahlberg plays a lot, really, and he fits right into it on the whole.
He's
If
like a
there's
dumb dog.
And
I mean,
even
kinda,
the director does a smart thing with the script they have that even though the script is really like it's a by the numbers noir, he throws in an awful lot of red herrings to make you go, oh wait, do you see that? Like there's a scene where they make a point of showing you where the guy, where Russell Crowe hands Mark Wahlberg his shotgun. He's like, oh, here, check out this gun, right? And he plays with his gun, and you're like, well, that's obviously God. Why would they even put that in there? They put that in there to make you wonder, oh, they're going to set him up to make it look like he shot a gun at some point. There's lots of moments
It's
like
funny because
that.
at that moment I was like, is this going to be Shooter all over again? It's like, oh no, it's not.
But does that work here? Because that's the enjoyable
aspects
thing.
work. It takes a while to figure out what the ultimate, final layout is. But even in the end, there's no real big surprises. The biggest problem isn't that. I mean, because I don't mind. I mean, like I said, I enjoy this type of thing for what it's worth. It's that the Hughes brother,
The Hughes bro.
doesn't really bring anything new to it. I mean, if you're going to delve into like such classic, tropes like this and like really not go far off from recognizable genre stuff, you got to bring something new to the table. And here, I felt like he just thought, we got Mark Wahlberg and Russell Crowe. That's enough.
It's a solid movie. It's standard. It just doesn't bring out any surprises. And normally when we get a movie like this, or not normally, but so often, there's some sense of style or something that dazzles you. And you're like, I'm sitting here watching, I'm like, man, Ben Affleck could have tore this up. He
put it in Boston.
I mean, he was
give it to some scumbag characters.
tore this up. He put it in
Boston. I mean, he was give it to some scumbag characters.
Just that knowledge, like, I got to put something in here that's really exciting, that makes people remember.
Well, movies like that, well, movies like this, you have to. I mean, because we've seen them every time.
Right. We've seen so many of them. And this comes on the level of so many other movies that aren't bad, but like you think of something like We Own the Night or
Farewell, My Lovely.
Okay, and what was the movie Mark Wahlberg did last year? Contraband. I mean, it's actually better than Contraband because Contraband got a little stupid. Like, there's nothing in this movie where you go like, that's dumb. The probably the worst you can say about it outside of not having anything exciting is just that there's people I listen to going like, I don't know, it took a long time to get where it was going, or I had trouble figuring it out, or it's kind of convoluted. But you know, there was a point where I was like, man, in the middle, like, I don't really know what's going on. And I first saw that as a negative. I was like, no, wait a minute. This is actually good because they write movies down so much, especially thrillers, to where, oh yeah, I know it's going to happen. And then this, and then this. And this was one where it's like in the middle, I'm like, wow, they got enough things going on that I'm having trouble figuring this out, which I think is great. It makes it somewhat of a puzzle.
That's how it should be.
It should be that way,
hate the films that they've got to just spell it out for you. It's like, look, we don't want it to be too complicated so no one gets, like, anyone walks out confused, right? And we just have to have a couple big action scenes and then everyone will be happy.
Come on, sir. There's a place for those movies like My Mind. I need those simple movies. Come on.
The biggest disappointment, though, at least from you guys telling me about this, is that it sounds like a straight up thriller.
It is
not so much.
Well,
an
not really.
action movie.
It's not really.
It's not. I mean, there's action in it, but it's not an action movie.
No, not at all.
There's a small car chase.
I don't care.
There's a few fights.
I already don't care.
Yeah. And hey, man, and for people like, you guys.
Don't point. Do not put me in there. I'm joking, but you know me better than that, man.
Well, I would
Simple
say,
folk.
You can't even look me in the eye and say that.
I'm just basing on what you just said a minute ago.
Y'all was joking. Now. Come on.
Okay, all right. But for simple folk who like those kind of simple thrillers and action movies, they're still out there. Nobody's taking those away from you.
Yeah.
But here's something that's like, hey, this is
still
not,
looking at me.
This is God damn it. This is not
I am
that.
looking at you.
Yes, okay.
You may take that and run with it.
Somebody like me who wishes, like, man, I wish there could be a little bit more to this plot. This does have that. But yeah, but as Cyrus pointed out, where it ends up in a place where it's like, all right, I've kind of seen, things go this way before. It does have something kind of ballsy at the end because you go like, oh yeah, this guy's going to win. It's like, well,
even that though is not an unfamiliar trope from this type of fiction.
True. Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's like, oh yeah, I've seen this happen a lot of times.
So co-host, you had to go see this. He just told us the end.
I did not tell you the ending. You really don't know how this ends.
So you're telling me it's no Jack Reacher?
Actually, that's a good point because I thought about Jack Reacher, and it's not that. Because the other thing it doesn't have is like what propelled Jack Reacher when it wasn't action was just like snappy dialogue stuff where you go like, ooh,
I want to be that guy.
Yeah, there was almost absolutely none of that. There might have been two lines where I was like,
What co-host is asking you is, did you ever want to be Mark Wahlberg watching this movie?
Fuck no.
He's kind of a loser.
Yeah, he's a big time.
Are we talking about the actor or the character?
I know. I like him better during his underwear career.
To actually be Mark Wahlberg? Fuck, I saw Entourage. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it would be great. Yeah. I'm not talking about him, man.
You wouldn't want to be this character. No.
Okay.
If there's a part that I thought brought this down from being like maybe like a low full price or something, because I was enjoying it more than not. So there's this huge subplot involving Natalie Martinez as the girl who he's in a relationship with.
Oh, yeah.
And their problems they're having in the relationship and stuff going on with her family and how that relates to the initial crime that he was in trouble for. That isn't terribly interesting and just drags the movie down and really is only there to illustrate the way he's kind of coming apart, as the movie goes on.
Well, I see the thing with that is, I don't know, is this based on a novel? Because it felt like it was.
But first-time screenwriter. So.
Okay, because having so many plot threads, it made me think, okay, this must be based on a novel where this goes someplace. Because the whole thing with the girlfriend, it reaches like a good point, a good crescendo. But I was like, okay, where's this go? And it's like it just kind of got dropped.
Really?
And I was like, I bet in the book it goes somewhere, or she's a recurring
Well,
character
that's what I'm
or
saying,
something.
that was the only reason she's even there, though, is to just have that illustration that he's disintegrating.
Yeah.
So that we can see this solid,
Have
stable
a
relationship
character.
come to a point where it just is like gone into chaos because he's just can't handle all the shit that's going on.
It's the one opportunity, I guess, to give him a character moment where you realize like there's more to him than just being the dummy who gets set up. More like, not only does he have like real problems, but domestic problems as well.
It sets up a good scene because all through the movie, people keep offering him booze. He's like, no, I'm on the wagon. Oh, come on. I'm gonna just pour you a scotch anyway. Yeah, detective, can I offer you a drink? No. Yeah, but you want one.
Wow, people just fucking with him.
Yeah. But the thing that
in
actually
a
pushed him
broke-ass
over,
city, Corey. what else are they going to
But they're trying to break his ass too.
the thing that pushes him over the edge to where he just falls way off the wagon.
Oh, no, does he pull a
It's like,
Denzel?
Does he attack a bottle of Grey Goose?
I know, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like when he does hit that moment, he's no Denzel. It's still Mark Wahlberg. You're not quite there yet, kid. But it's just funny the thing that does push him over. I won't say it here. I'll tell you guys afterwards. But it's
So he
just
won't be
kind of
flying my
funny.
plane.
Even then, it's weird that he keeps getting offered. But if you notice, the first time he drinks was not a stressful situation. It's the first time he meets Catherine Zeta-Jones that he
Oh,
takes
that's right.
the drink because ultimately the women are his weakness.
That's true.
It goes down to it.
Yeah, I know how he feels. Hey, Leon, can you get me a beer real quick? you guys had mentioned something before we started, how this movie, one of the biggest faults of it, you said, is that it lacks style.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
A
just
visual style.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
a lot new brought to a very classic style of storytelling, which is a problem when there are so many movies with all these story elements in them we've already seen. Well, you got to bring something new to the table, I love film noir, I love the classics, but you can't keep just recycling the same plot.
It's one of these things where Gangster Squad took that too far, having the style with a detective story. This didn't do nearly enough. It's like if it could have met somewhere in the middle, it would be one of these movies where like, man, you got to see this.
Okay.
All right. Well,
As it stands right now,
You and I looking at each other. Okay.
but as it stands right now, like Cyrus said, I enjoyed it a lot more than not. It's a solid film. I don't know. I guess I just give it a matinee.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, this could have been so much more, and yet what it was satisfying enough. Unfortunately, it's one of those films. There's just not enough edge here where we're even going to probably remember it by the end of
Exactly.
the year. But while I was watching it, I did enjoy it. I did enjoy pretty much everybody in it. Like I said, I only felt that one subplot dragged it down at all, and only then, and really in terms of pacing, because it was a film that needed at that point to pick up, and instead I felt it was slowing down. But that being said, it's a matinee film. It's a very definition of a matinee.
Really? Okay. Well, you know what? You've talked us into co-host. I'll meet you tomorrow at the theater at noon.
oh, sure.
For a matinee of Broken City.
Hey, you have a good time when you and your brother popcorn. I was really looking forward to this movie. Now you guys just really busted my fucking bubble.
Oh, you.
Serious. I don't know why, but I was excited about this movie because it seems like we've been getting a string lately of straight up action movies, and this looked like an action movie to me. But now I'm just like,
Broke his heart. And seriously, tonight when I sat down, I'm not joking. Did you not lean over to me and say, "Hey man, I'm really looking forward to Broken City. I want to see that."
I really am.
Hey, no, you did say that.
Yeah, I did.
But why I'm making you sound like Mark Wahlberg? I don't know.
By the way, say hello to Broken City.
Say hello to Broken City for me.
That because I feel like if it was just a straight up action movie, it wouldn't have been anywhere near as good. Actually,
Yeah.
It's like, you're right. We have had a whole bunch of regular straight up action movies. Wasn't that enough for you? What's wrong with something different?
With Mark
You gotta
Wahlberg?
slow down a little bit sometimes.
Child?
You heard this, but you broke his heart.
now what you did.
Hey, co-host, don't worry. It's coming from Cyrus and Leon. So
That's true.
go watch it yourself.
Hey, call me crazy for wanting a little action with my Wahlberg. God damn.
He's a dangerous man, Billy.
He only knows people that kill people.
You're gonna walk away. That's the deal, Mary. I suggest you take it.